Holy shit. He said what?
August 4th, 40 years ago, Meghan was born, and she was born as a C-section, so she was put in my arm. I was the first person to hold her. Her little hand went around my fingers like that, and I fell in love with her, and I had been that way for 40 years.
Thomas had Meghan with his second wife, Doria. For many years, father and daughter shared a special bond.
Okay. Am I there?
I really do miss her.
I hope you're having the best birthday you've ever had. Thank you for everything.
But no longer. As he approaches the end of his life, he regrets the end of their relationship. He's never met his grandchildren, and he never hears from her.
Someday Meghan's going to realize that she's obviously missing out on a really good, tight-knit family. I mean, we're all still together all the time, no matter what, and you can't put a price on that.
Do you still love your daughter?
Of course I do. I love my children. I love my other daughter. I love my son. Of course I love them.
They thought Meghan's drama was over. They were wrong, because this time, it's not a royal feud or a tabloid headline. It's her own father tearing down the walls she spent years building.
Long before she was a duchess, Meghan Markle was a queen who people bowed to and cheered. She fished.
That's my daughter in the water. Everything she owns out the water.
She danced,
Everything
and she loved her daddy. These are the precious family videos of a father who still loves the daughter who no longer speaks to him.
Thomas Markle didn't just break his silence, he detonated it, dropping secrets so explosive that Meghan's carefully painted image is cracking like cheap glass. And what he revealed? It's not some petty family gossip you can scroll past. It's the kind of scandal that can burn Meghan's entire reputation to ashes, forcing her closest allies to rethink everything.
This is Meghan's first trip to the snow. Your dad took her up to Big Bear.
Her childhood was with me.
Rented a cabin for her first trip to the snow.
Every time we had a chance to go somewhere and do something, we would. And I got her through high school. I got her through college.
While the world sits on the edge, eyes locked, waiting for Meghan to make her next move or her next mistake, because after this, every move could be her last before everything collapses.
Determined to prove that Meghan enjoyed a close relationship with her father, the family decided to share a selection of treasured childhood videos. She and Dad had days at the ballpark and weekends at the lake.
What?
Dance movie outings turned into regular lessons, and Thomas filmed the sets he built for school show.
Thank you for everything. And my house is super.
Long before the royal titles, the designer gowns, and those shiny Netflix millions, Meghan had a bond with her father that felt unbreakable. Thomas Markle wasn't just a dad, he was her biggest believer. He poured his retirement money into her Hollywood dreams, cheering her on as she chased the spotlight, proud to see his daughter shine. But the moment Meghan stepped into royal life, everything changed.
For many months, he couldn't talk, and even now, speaking is still difficult. But he'd give anything for a conversation with his daughter Meghan.
I wish we could sit down and talk. I wish we could work out the differences. Meghan, she loved me. I'm a hero. And suddenly I was thrown out.
She shut him out, cold, silent, and brutal. No calls, no letters, no thank you, nothing. While Meghan sipped champagne in palaces, Thomas was left behind, facing health scares, alone, feeling like he was nothing more than a stepping stone. She used to climb higher. That betrayal, it turned Thomas Markle from a quiet, loving supporter into a father with a mission. If Meghan wouldn't face him in private, he would force her to face him in public. And every word Thomas speaks now is like a scalpel, peeling back the carefully protected layers of Meghan's perfect image, exposing the truths she never wanted the world to see.
Like any proud parent, his home is littered with photos of his beloved children.
For the longest time, she wanted to be a dancer.
Each image is a heartbreaking reminder of happier times.
These guys can tell you how close we were, Meg and I. And I certainly spent a lot of my life with her. I don't know how she can throw all of it away.
Thomas didn't just speak, he dropped a truth bomb the world wasn't ready for. Because the Meghan you see smiling on Netflix, the carefully crafted camera-ready princess, Thomas says that's not the Meghan he raised. Behind that perfect smile, there was always a ruthless ambition, an ambition that would cut anyone off the moment they didn't fit her new image. Family members, she ghosted them. Friends dropped like like dead weight. Anyone who dared question her decisions, she turned ice cold.
I remember when she was born, big new addition to the family, and we just have a very young sister here.
Thomas Jr. was 14 when Meghan came into the world.
During the Oprah interview, when Meghan said she had no siblings, when she told the world she was an only child, I mean, were you disappointed?
No, I just made a little mark on my board and said, oh, there's another lie, click.
Thomas pulled back the curtain on Meghan's early Hollywood days, hinting at money disputes, harsh arguments, and a growing hunger to erase her past to build a spotless public persona. And if that meant erasing her own family, Meghan didn't blink. Now, every word Thomas speaks is turning the spotlight back on Meghan, forcing people to ask, who is Meghan Markle really? Is she the sweet, smiling figure she shows in interviews, or is there a side the cameras were never meant to see? Because after these revelations, the world isn't so sure anymore.
Well, that's her first wedding in Jamaica. That's one of my favorite pictures. I'd like to have that experience with my granddaughter.
If you could get just one message across to your daughter now, what would it be?
As always, I do love you, and I wish we could sit down and talk about it. I'm not an ogre. I'd love to talk to her.
As Meghan climbed the fame ladder, the whispers started. At first, it was just quiet talk. A side eye here, a hushed comment there. But those whispers, they exploded into full-blown stories of Meghan's alleged diva behavior. Former staff started hinting about Meghan's demands, the impossible standards, the cold silences, and the explosive outbursts when things didn't go her way. And Thomas, he didn't deny it. He confirmed it with a father's quiet disappointment, saying Meghan always expected the world to revolve around her.
There's a lot that's been lost already, and I grieve a lot. I mean, I've lost my father.
I believe she had a clear motive for writing family off because it would seemingly justify and perhaps delay the revelation of all of the lies that she had told the royal family.
Even if it meant shattering family peace, rumors spread like wildfire. Meghan making staff cry. Meghan enforcing unrealistic demands. Meghan's image of confidence turning into fear for those around her. The public image she painstakingly built, it started to crack because every leak, every insider quote was like a needle popping her carefully crafted balloon. What was once admiration for her confidence turned into suspicion. Suspicion about how far Meghan would really go to get what she wanted. Suspicion about whether our diva Meghan was the real Meghan all along.
She was good enough that seemingly in her mind, she had to inflate who she was to garner false admiration and to be accepted by the royals instead of saying, look, I've worked very hard. My family was upper middle class. He put me through the best schools. He did the best he could. He loved me. He sacrificed, and for that, I'm grateful. Instead, what she did was engage in self-glorification and leave everybody else out of the equation as if she existed in a vacuum. In my opinion, she would still be a waitress if it wasn't for Dad.
And now, even her most loyal supporters are hesitating, asking themselves, was it all just an act? When Thomas Markle finally decided to break his silence, he didn't hold back. He didn't sugarcoat. He didn't play nice. Thomas stepped in front of the cameras and told the world exactly how Meghan ghosted and the entire family while preaching family values to millions. He painted a picture of betrayal so raw, viewers couldn't look away. Thomas claimed Meghan promised to stand by him, to support him, but when medical emergencies hit, she was nowhere. While Thomas lay alone, fighting health scares, Meghan was living her best life. In palaces, smiling for cameras, signing Netflix deals, enjoying luxury and fame without a backward glance. And every time Thomas spoke, it hit people where it hurt. Each word from him was like a chisel, chipping away at the underdog princess image.
I made one dumb mistake, and I'm never being forgiven for it. And this show that they're on, they talk about compassion. There's no compassion for me. There's no compassion for my family. And there's no compassion for the royals.
He was turning 80 years old, very much struggling in terms of his health. He had a stroke which took away his ability to speak. And despite the fact that his daughter and his son-in-law, Prince Harry, are two of the richest, most privileged people in the world, they are not paying a single thing to help him, not providing a dime towards his medical care.
Meghan sold, revealing someone who might have used her own family to climb higher into fame. People who once saw Meghan as the brave fighter started seeing her as something else entirely. And as Thomas poured out his heartbreak, his frustration, his loneliness, viewers began asking, was Meghan's silence really pain, or was it just another move in her game? Because every interview Thomas gave made Meghan's carefully controlled image slip further, turning the world's sympathy into doubt, one heartbreak-filled sentence at a time. Behind the perfectly staged smiles and the sleek PR statements and the glossy Instagram posts, there was chaos.
After Harry met Meghan in 2016, the Markles' lives would never be the same. From the moment her father-in-law, Charles, walked her down the aisle, Meghan Markle effectively wrote her own dad and her siblings out of her life.
I've lost my dad in this, so him as my father-in-law was really important to me. So I asked him to walk me down the aisle, and he said yes.
Insiders claim that every time Thomas spoke, Meghan went into full-blown panic mode because she knew one wrong word from him could burn everything down. The brand deals, the Spotify and Netflix millions, and the public sympathy narrative she had carefully crafted. That fear, it exploded into heated arguments behind closed doors, with Meghan's team scrambling to put out the fires. Her inner circle debated, should they send legal threats? Should they launch counterattacks in the media? Should they try to silence Thomas before he said too much? But with every new word Thomas spoke, the public leaned in closer. The views climbed, the whispers turned into headlines.
You shot me, and now she mentions me. Is it worth dumping me for the rest of my life? Denying my grandchildren? Is it worth all of that? Is it worth getting rid of her father?
Meghan's team realized something chilling. Trying to silence him would only make it worse. And Meghan, she was furious. Her private family drama was now a global spectacle, exposing a vulnerability she fought hard to keep hidden. With each fresh story Thomas dropped, Meghan's carefully curated image of the unbothered Duchess started to crack, because the truth was, every time Thomas hinted at more secrets, it hit Meghan's brand where it hurt the most, leaving her reputation dangling on the edge, one father's sentence away from total collapse.
So before she met Harry, you had no doubt she was your sister?
My little sister, though, I said, if there was any descriptive qualifier, she was my little sis.
I would have loved to have had siblings, so I'm so excited to be pregnant so that Archie has someone.
Because she was quite clear. In her mind, she didn't have a sister, didn't have a brother.
But she did.
As Thomas's explosive revelations kept hijacking headlines, a new wave of whispers started swirling around Meghan and Harry. Behind the million-dollar homes and luxury trips, insiders claimed things were quietly spiraling. The lavish lifestyle, worse. It wasn't matching the dwindling reality of failed deals and drying brand money. And every time Thomas opened his mouth, it fueled the narrative that Meghan's crumbling reputation was dragging both of them down.
That Meghan Markle really did expect Harry to be a billionaire when she met him. She was incredibly disappointed to find out he's only worth a couple million, and she's gonna have to actually work and hawk these jams and jellies and dog biscuits to have the lifestyle that she wants.
Reports hinted at tension bubbling between Meghan and Harry, the stress of failed projects, the sky-high security bills, the pressure to maintain the image of a power couple, while the financial ground beneath them shook. And Thomas, he was giving critics fresh ammunition. Every interview, every heartbreaking sentence became a new reason for the public to ask, was Meghan's endless quest for fame worth the family chaos it created?
She's already gotten the benefit of her bargain with Harry because she got the title. That's what she wanted. She wanted to be world famous. She wanted the title. You remember when Harry was single, he was the elephant. He was the one, the most eligible bachelor on earth. You could be a royal, you could become world famous overnight, you could live in a castle, you could have access to the crown jewels, you would be a princess. My God, yes, he could have had his pick.
Some insiders claimed brands were hesitating, worried about the constant drama that came with Meghan's name, while Meghan and Harry scrambled to hold the facade together, desperate to look united as the pressure closed in from all sides. And through it all, Thomas's unfiltered, unapologetic words kept reminding the world of the fractured family Meghan tried to hide, fractures so deep they were now destroying the image.
Meghan Markle is always attempting to, shall we say, build relationships with very, very, very rich men.
Harry just can't give her anything else anymore. He served his purpose. His purpose is over, and they're no longer aligned in purpose. So for her, it's time to move on.
Meghan and Harry spent millions to build. Viewers couldn't help but wonder, how much longer can they keep this act going before everything finally collapses? Now, with her father's explosive words hanging like a storm cloud over her carefully polished image, Meghan is standing on a crumbling stage. Every new revelation Thomas drops is like ripping back the curtain on the version of Meghan she's fought so hard to sell to the world.
When I watched the royal wedding, I was watching her and when I was watching Harry. And there was something, in my opinion, missing in their eyes. It didn't seem real to me.
Would have been nice to be invited.
For my dad.
Oh, for you and your brother as well. I mean, there are plenty of spare places in the pews. George Clooney scored a spot.
Yeah, and he came out later and said he didn't really know them.
The question isn't just what will Meghan do next? It's can she ever recover from the damage caused by the very family she tried to erase? Because as more people start questioning who Meghan really is behind the cameras, one thing is clear. The fallout from her father's truths might be the one storm she can't control. And while Meghan scrambles to silence the noise, to patch the cracks, to hold on to the image she built, the world is watching, waiting for the exact moment Meghan's carefully crafted image implodes for good.
Meghan Markle married for money, that she planned it all from the beginning, and the vision board with Prince Harry on it was revealed to her by someone who knew Trevor Engelson.
But this woman is nothing but a publicity whore. It's a term of art. We broke the news that she had Prince Harry on her vision board when she was younger. That was her goal, #goal, to marry Prince Harry. So it was all about getting the title. She's done that now. Now she's just stuck with this depressed ginger who has absolutely no family, no friends, and no money. This was not part of the plan.
And if you thought this was shocking, just wait until you hear what Meghan's ex-husband revealed about the hidden past she never wanted you to know, the moment that changed everything forever. Click on this video right here to see how deep Meghan's secrets really go, only here on Star Spotlight.